What the fuck?
Welcome to Taste Like Tea, one of the least organized podcasts in existence. My name is Theo. Don't call me Ted. Today I am doing another drive along. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna call them, but I have to go to the library and bring back these movies, so I figure I can record an episode while I'm doing it. I just listened to my Train to Busan episode. One, it's shorter, and I kind of just wanted to make make sure my audio was okay. But yeah, I just wanted to listen through it, and it turned out decent. You know, it's a decent. You get that little white noise rumble in the background, but honestly, that was kind of nice when I was listening to it, because it almost acted like a perfect, literally white noise. Like, it was blocking out everything that wasn't my voice. And I think that's actually pretty cool. I'm not always a huge fan of, background rumbles, but it really wasn't as bad as it could have been. I'm returning some movies, on my way to at least. I rented, Scary Movie 3 in the cut and the first Terminator film. Not what I'm talking about today, though. Those aren't the films I'm talking about today. It's just what I'm doing. anythingbutted@gmail.com. If you want to reach out for anything, maybe you can tell me to stop driving around and maybe just talk while standing still. I don't know. Yesterday I was supposed to record, but I was, deeply depressed and self-harming in a sense. I don't know, but we're fixed. We're alive. We're kicking. And anythingbutted@gmail.com if you want to reach out. I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about that I keep. Every time it's the middle of the day, I sit there, I'm like, oh, I should have talked about this on the podcast. I always talk about how I want to find stuff to jib-jab about, but I can't ever fucking remember when I'm in the moment. It's this whole, my brain can't jump around without someone else keeping me on track. And, I don't have a notepad open or anything, so it's not like I can, write down little memos and stuff. Although that's probably what I should do. I don't know. But today I'm going to be talking about a film, one singular film. It's actually a short film. Does it count as a film or an episode of TV? I don't really know exactly what you'd call it. I'm calling it a short film because it's 22 minutes long. It's, even if it was made for TV or considered an episode of TV, I'd still, a Play for Today are considered films, and they're TV episodes essentially. So I'm going to be talking about the Finishing Line from 1977, I believe. I'm driving, so I can't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it's 1977. I've been sitting on this film for a little while. I actually apparently completely had no idea what the fuck it was about. I thought it was a documentary. I thought it was a documentary about kids who live, homeless children who were riding the rails, riding trains to get around and being a part of the homeless community, because I know there's a whole culture behind that. So I figure oh, that's probably what this is, and it probably ends with the children dying horribly because homelessness is a tragedy and usually doesn't end well. But it's not. It's not whatsoever. It's actually the complete opposite. It's a fictional film, right? Which, you know, immediately the complete opposite. It's a public service announcement that was funded by the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company. I think that's what their abbreviation is for. And it's a public service announcement to scare children from playing on railroad tracks. And you know, I gotta say, it was a pretty effective thing, because I have no urge to ever play on train tracks ever again. Because it was just kind of like horrifying. But what is the finishing line? So how do I... It's basically a what-if scenario. So no. It opens up with a kid sitting on, like, a bridge overlooking railroad tracks, right? And there's a narration or, like, an echoey voice, very... it's probably just, like, an adult talking down to a kid or something like that, but he's like... The railroad tracks are no place to be playing. This is not a place for fun. This is... And it's... Then, you know, the kid is... What am I saying? Jesus Christ. There's a kid sitting overlooking train tracks, and whilst he's sitting there, he's imagining or remembering a conversation he had with an adult where he was like, don't be dumb and play on train tracks because that's a dumb thing to do. And he's like, nuh-uh, what if we had, like, our own games? And it's just a kid imagining kind of like an Olympics, like a field day. I associate it more with like a field day. If you ever had those in school where they're like, yeah, it's National Exercise Day for children to fight obesity or whatever. And you know, now that I'm saying it, it probably is just an American thing, but maybe not, considering, you know, BBC made a field day movie about children on train tracks. But that's kind of how I like field days, you know. School sends you outside to go play volleyball or whatever in way too hot a sunlight and get heat stroke and whatever. So it's basically like, what if this kid designed a series of games that revolved around... fucking Christ. This kid thinks of games that are designed around active train tracks. Not just like the existence of like being near train tracks or playing on the train tracks, but literally like moving trains are involved in this game. And it's 20 minutes. It ramps up quickly and it stays ramped like the entire time. Because it's just a series of things happening. So I can't necessarily remember like all the different types of games, but essentially what it would do is it would have this kid like say the name of a game, and then while he's talking about the game, there's a diagram placed over the screen that kind of shows you the general layout of the board, if you will, or like the playing field. There's multiple colored teams. I think it's like 4 separate teams that are competing against each other. Kind of Monsters University if children death was encouraged. So it'll show like the train tracks running down the middle, and they'll say like, oh, your team starts here and you have to make it to this side of the train tracks, and the most people who make it over win, or whatever. Like it's really straightforward, honestly. So then it cuts to the games, right? And there's like a happy-go-lucky announcer, which is the only... There's I was about to say there's only one adult, but there's actually a bunch of adults in the film, but they're all like referees and like the help. The kids are the main characters, and the kids are the ones participating in the games. So like the first round is it's kind of just playing chicken or Frogger. It's just run across the train tracks, and whoever reaches the other side wins. I don't think there was anything extra to it. It was kind of just that. And yeah, and it's just a series of, like, it's just a fast cut scene of easily like 24 children, probably more, just like flooding across the train tracks, and they're like kids falling and getting trampled, and it's a pretty intense scene, but it's not exactly what I would say is like scary. And then a fucking trolley starts coming down the rails, and you're like, what the fuck? These kids have to dodge moving trains? And immediately the first train to pass by runs over a child's head. And it's really effectively edited. It's edited really well. The sorry, I have to get around this Python. Uphill driving is not where you want to be behind a truck. So it's edited really well. They don't show any like actual skulls being crushed or anything like that. They are I hate going up this hill. I feel like I waste so much gas because I'm either stuck behind a truck going 20 miles an hour because it's too steep of a hill, or I'm sitting here fucking flooring it, trying to just stay the speed limit. It's really dumb. And trucks don't deserve rights on the road. If you own or drive or get paid to drive a vehicle, you have no rights on the road and you don't deserve them. Sorry, not really, but oh no, there's a lost dog. And they bought a really big sign for it. I hope they find him. But like, you don't see any kids' skulls getting crushed, but you see bloody corpses, which is something I was surprised. I thought it was going to be a lot of fast cuts because this is a TV movie. This was shown on television during like prime time. Like, it was meant to be seen by the entire family. Children were supposed to watch this. I genuinely didn't think that they were going to show the corpses of children. And, you know, obviously they're actors. They're people being portrayed as dead. It's not like they're actually murdered. But when you see a full-speed train essentially running over the skull of a child, like I said, it's edited really well to where it's not egregious or overly gory. But then you see a bunch of fucking children laying on the ground, covered in blood, wrapped up in tarps or whatever, also covered in blood. It's a very distressing image. And that's just kind of how the whole movie goes, is it's just kind of that, and it just gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse. I can't even remember what the other entries are, other than the last one, because they're all kind of the same. They're all kind of like maybe one's a 3-legged race versus like one being a 2-legged race. There might be something along the lines of I genuinely don't remember. It was a short film, and I think there was like 4 games, including the final one, which is the one that I remember the most. But I can't genuinely remember what happened with the other 2, because they're very similar to the first one, though. They're not edited the same, and way more children die as things go, like time moves. Like, way more children die. The first round, maybe like a half dozen children get run over at most. As the rounds go on, kids are getting like just murked, and piles of them are like, it's really intense, and I really like, is stark how you could describe it? It's really intense. Yeah, so a couple more games go by and more kids are dying. It's really gruesome, and my jaw's on the floor the entire time. It's just really fucked to experience. And the whole time, the other really crazy part about it is that child death is a part of the game. It's not accidental. And that's the point of the movie, is it's, what if we didn't care that kids got hit by trains? And it's like, oh, well, we'll set up a field day where children, first sport, try and not get hit by trains. So there's like I said, there are adults there, but they kind of don't exist except to clean up the bodies. But there is an announcer who is very much an adult, going like, okay, and now the teams have, here are the points tallied, and this and that, and like he's very much just like an announcer for like an event. What do you fucking think I'm doing? You know, I appreciate a lot of the stuff that Cars added for like convenience and stuff, but some of these sensors are fucking dumb. Like the car, sometimes cars have no idea what the fuck is happening, and I do not fully trust it, but I also enjoy it too much to turn it off. So yeah, these announcers are like just super happy-go-lucky, being like, okay, and the winner of this round is the green team. And I don't actually think the green team came in last, so don't assume. But so yeah, the shit goes down. A bunch of kids are dying, and then the final round comes. And the final round is really just like, the whole idea of this film is fucked. But this final round is just like uber fucked. It's mega ultra, like double down, triple double. It's fucked. So what happens, dude? Are you fucking serious? I like to play games with people when I'm driving now, because I realize that people are like very dumb, and I will like put my blinker on that I'm turning right, that I'm turning right, so that a car can look at my car and go, hey, that car has a right signal, which means that it's probably turning before the road I'm sticking out of. I can probably go without having to worry about being hit, because they're going to be slowing down and turning. People don't understand that mentality, and they won't turn until that car with the signal that is very obviously slowing down to make a turn is completely off of the road. And I think it's the most idiotic thing possible. Like, yeah, there's definitely situations where you're like, are they turning, are they not? Like on a highway, where like speeds are very fluctuating, very fast. But if I'm turning right, if I have my blinker on for like a good 7 seconds, I don't go by distance. I don't believe in distance when it comes to putting your blinker on. I believe in at least like a 5 seconds ahead of time kind of thing. Doesn't matter how fast you're going, 5 seconds before you make your turn. Pretty logical. So that 5 seconds, they're just staring at me, and I'll start going slower and slower and slower and make it so obvious that I'm about to turn. But they'll still look at me as if I am barreling straight towards them, and I will hit them if they peek out of the stop. Really, I do judge you if I see you do it. So the last game, the last entry in the finishing line is just so. The entire time they're running across train tracks, right? That's kind of the game, is to get from one side of the tracks to the other without getting hit. That's kind of the main objective. And I think maybe there was a tug of war at some point and kids who got pulled too close got run over or something. I don't really... Yeah, well, it's all about going across train tracks. But the final test, the final game, the final whatever is walking along the tracks. And not just that. Not just walking along the tracks, but like... Sorry, there's some construction going on. Not just running along the tracks, but quite literally, it's whoever the first 3 people to make it from one side of this tunnel to the other wins. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, I'm just thinking about it, and it's just such a fucked, like, thing, and I bet it worked. You know, the British, they know how to scare people with TV violence, for sure. Because between this and Threads, I don't think I ever want to exist in any situation that is anywhere near what those films are depicting. So, there's a tunnel, like a train tunnel, and they don't show you how long it is. But it's long. It's definitely long. Because it's pitch black in there. It's not like you can see the other side. It's not like a Looney Tunes like painted the tunnel on the wall and it kind of looks like it's just a little throughway. No, this is a long ass fucking tunnel. It has at least one turn in it because you don't see the other side, and it's pitch black in there. And the goal is to walk from one end of the tunnel to the other while trains go through the fucking tunnel. It's 2 rails wide, right? So, like, hypothetically, kids could dodge the trains. But also, there's so many children, it's definitely more than 24 now that I'm thinking about it. There's more than 24 children corpses in the film. Not even talking about, like, living children. But they go through the tunnel, and it's a lot of people. It's like, it could be like The Long Walk, kind of. Like, that's kind of what it looks like, is The Long Walk, where I guess easily about 100 people, genuinely, all children, running through a dark tunnel, hoping not to get hit by trains. And they don't show what's happening in the tunnel. And I think that's the most fucked part. You see these kids run into a tunnel haphazardly, excitedly, enthusiastically, and then it shows the other side, the finish line, and there's just no one there. I mean, there's a crowd. There's people cheering on the kids, like, yeah, you know, come in first place, red team, or whatever. Like people are there on the at the finish line, waiting for their victors, and they hold this shot on the exit of the tunnel for like a really long time. And the only thing that it's telling me is that, oh wow, they already got evicted or left. It's a bad sign of someone being a good landlord. Jesus Christ. So they hold this shot on the tunnel for like really long, and it's really uncomfortable because you know that the whole objective is that children want to make it to the other side, and you're staring at a tunnel where no children are emerging from the other side. You could only assume that the tunnel is just too long, and that it's going to take a few moments for this tunnel to to end. But then children start like coming out really slowly, and they're all covered in blood and limping and holding their limbs and crawling, and it's not like it's super gory. It's kind of less like they slapped a bunch of red onto these children, but they're good actors. They're limping really hard. Like, I mean, it's probably really easy to fake these kinds of injuries, but it's so fucked. Because these are just, I think the oldest has to be like 14 or 15. Like, they're really not old at all. I'm actually hitting 2 libraries. I'm driving past one to drop off my movies at the other so that I can come back this way and stop in and see what the movies are like in this library. Because I'm just cool like that. So, yeah, these kids are just like, they come out of the tunnel and it's not a lot. Like I said, like 100 children ran into that tunnel. One at a time, you start seeing these children bloodied up and limping and grabbing their arms in pain, and it's really gruesome looking. And an adult runs up to the first kid that comes out, and he's like, "Oh, you made it to the other side! Congratulations! What is your name?" And he's like, "Oh, my name is Jim Jam," or whatever. Like, it's the most like casual, just like, yeah, you survived and you came in first. What are you gonna do next? And he's hoping that they're gonna say something. I'm going to Disneyland, because it's just like that kind of energy. Because in this world, in this imagination, the deaths of children from trains is inconsequential. It's all about the winner. And then more children start coming out, and they claim the top 3. The top 3 get their podium. They get their names announced. They're all from different teams, so I don't fully understand how that equates to like picking a team winning. I feel like it should be more like Monsters University, where it's like the more people, in Monsters University, the rule is actually that everybody needs to finish, and whoever finishes last for that team is the place they get. I think it should have been like 1 point per person on team that made it onto the other side. That's probably how they should have done it, because they were doing points for the rest of them. But yeah, then the last few minutes, so after they get the kids who, like, they get their names and they announce them, a lot more children come out, like way more than I was expecting, to be honest, but nowhere near as many that walked in to the tunnel. And they're all limping. They're all fucked. I don't think a single person left that tunnel uninjured in some way, shape, or form. And you could only imagine what the fuck happened in there, because to die by getting hit by a train is one thing. To live after being hit by a train is a completely other. What the fuck happened to where you aren't flattened, you aren't missing limbs, and you're crawling out of a tunnel covered in blood? What happened to you? It's a really scary thing to think about, because, like, what the fuck? So yeah, it's just like minutes of these children leaving the tunnel. Very intense. And then the last few minutes, once all the living children get out of the tunnel, they go and retrieve all the bodies of all the children. And if you look at the poster for this on Letterboxd, you can see just a glimpse of how many bodies they pile up. Because what they do is they drag these bodies out, some on gurneys, some are just being dragged, some are carried. Like, and the kids who are acting like dead bodies are really good at acting like dead bodies. Their limbs are dangling really perfectly, and they look lifeless. But they are definitely not mannequins. These are real children that they are carrying to look like dead bodies. So, yeah, they start dragging out these dead bodies and just placing them on the tracks, like lining them up. Like, if you remember the first episode of AMC's The Walking Dead, how Rick goes outside and he sees a bunch of body bags kind of lined up. It's like that, but they're wrapped up in like a canvas cloth, like a white sheet, and they're being placed on the train tracks. And then that, because you're seeing them being placed on the train tracks like that, it's actually doing something else as well. It's showing the range of children that died. And it's quite a range. Because, I shouldn't say a range of like age of children, but because they're being placed on this track, acrossways, so like, what, like if they were the size of the gap between tracks, it'd be like top of the head is touching one track, bottom of the foot is touching the other. They're placed like that, kind of like the trolley problem, I guess. And there's just so many of them. They keep zooming out, and more bodies are showing up, and it's just really fucked. But what I'm saying about like the sizes is that because it's a set size, some children's bodies fit perfectly in between the tracks, and others are hanging off the tracks. I love when people in the left lane don't understand that it's for passing. And then I have to be the asshole that passes on the right because I don't want to be a part of that line of people that is causing a hindrance in traffic. Lines of bodies, it's really gruesome. It's and then it just ends, right? It just zooms out. The vision ends. It goes back to that kid imagining the games while looking over the train tracks, and him going like, yeah, that sounds pretty fun. And the movie's over. It's like 22 minutes long, and it's full of child death to the brim. Probably the most dead children I've seen since porn. And that's just a joke, because, semen is not actually children. It's a joke. And then the way my phone was working, or not my phone, the way that my TV played it is the second it ended, it auto-looped back. Jesus Christ. Sorry. I shouldn't be. Anyway. Yeah, so it auto-looped, and I'm like, holy shit, I can't watch this again. I just, turned it off. Obviously, I watched it already. I'm not trying to watch it a second time. I would totally watch it again. It's a really shocking film that I think totally should be seen, and I totally might show it to people, because it's so fucked. But, I haven't watched Stephen King's It this year. How disappointing. I'm gonna have to do that. Maybe today. Maybe I'll put on Stephen King's It. So, yeah, that's the film. And I think it's also very, it's cool for me. I have a list of films that I have seen or was told about that feature the death of children. It's called Child Death. If you want to look it up, it's officially more than 200 films that I have identified as containing child death. This film, for how intense it was and how fucked it was, it is the my 200th film on the list. And I wish it was a little bit more definitive. I think hypothetically I probably would have been a little bit happier if I made the list of exclusively films I've seen that feature child death, because there are a lot of gaps. I think I maintain about a 60 to 80% completion on that list because of just me adding things and other people telling me about the things they've added. God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna pause this as I run into the library. and then I'll be right back. But yeah, so that's that film was officially my 200th film that I added to the child death list. And I think that is pretty cool because it's kind of an accomplishment. It's kind of a checkpoint, if you will. It's a lot of films that feature child death, and I think for being the 200th one on the list, it is very fitting because there's probably 200 dead children in the film. Crazy stuff. Anythingbutted@gmail.com if you want to reach out to me. I said child death and dead children and child corpse a lot today. I wonder if any of the platforms that this uploads to are gonna flag it for some reason. I think it's important to talk about child death. Everything from miscarriages to murder. Not because it's interesting and fun, it's pretty fucked, but there's a reason this exists. And I think the BBC did a really great job portraying this horrible thing, because genuinely, I'm afraid to play on train tracks, and I will probably show it to my child at some point if they ever start playing on train tracks. Because I think just like some movies that show horrible drug use being a good example of things to avoid about drugs, it's just educational to see an extreme example. And I give the BBC a lot of props for that. Anythingbutted@gmail.com if you want to complain to me about all the times I said dead children. That could be fun. I can get a tally of how many people don't like to hear the word dead children or child death or, child corpse, any of those fun words. As I sit in the library parking lot talking about them. But if, that's a thing. This is the end of the episode. I'm going to go pick up some DVDs from my other local library, and that I honestly wish I had 15 more minutes of stuff to talk about, because I would love to talk about what I picked up at the library over there, but I don't feel like jib-jabbing about nothing for the next 20 minutes just so I can be like, hey, here's the things I have. Maybe I'll actually just pause this recording and I'll top it off with me going, oh, hey, by the way, this happened. So don't be surprised if this immediately picks back up with me going, hey. And maybe my outro song will be delayed a few seconds too. So, thank you for listening. You've been listening to Taste Like Tea, a podcast that I don't fully understand the existence of. My name is Theo. Wait, no, I don't tell you who I am at the end. Do I? Oh, damn. I'm so excited to go to the library a lot. Anyways. This is Taste Like Tea, a podcast about me. I am tea, and tea is me. God, that sucks so bad. Alrighty, well, that took a little longer than I expected. Turns out this library has way more movies than I fucking thought. I was like, oh, they have a couple racks. No, they have walls. They actually ran out of room, so they started adding shelves, where children's books should be. They're everywhere. And they also were selling stuff. So let's start with what I rented, right? I got The Changeling, the first one. I've never seen it. I got Novocaine with what's his name. My partner wanted to see it, and I'm not against watching it. And America's Sweethearts with Billy Crystal, Julia Roberts, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and John Cusack. A horrible cast, but people that my partner likes. And then they had 10-cent paperbacks I got a movie tie-in with Drew Barrymore's face on it of Firestarter for 10 cents. And then I got 2 DVDs for... They were supposed to be 25 cents each, but I gave them the extra because I didn't care. So I got a copy of Rush Hour 2 and The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, which I'm pretty sure is the third one in the trilogy of The Girl Who. So now I only need The Girl Who Played with Fire, and I have the trilogy, which is cool. Yeah, just a little update. So, re-exiting. You've been listening to Taste Like Tea, podcast about me. I am T, and T is me. Goodbye.